Double busy, getting busy, Yo, what's up, it's me, the Double Busy. Here we go, episode 2 of Last Count, First King, with Duke Nuno Mendes of Portugal. Muñoz Ruiz is not a particularly special knight, so we'll execute him in front of everyone to show what happens to criminals who revolt against me. I usually wait for the Pope to have about plus 40 opinion for me, but I'm going to ask for the gold now so that I can raise more men-at-arms. I almost have a complete set of light footmen, mangonels, and caballeros, and then I can raise another. Raise St. Matthew. And now we have a full regiment of caballeros. So, once they are complete and manned, and once Castelo Branco is completely under my control, then I'll go ahead and declare independence, if the conditions are right. Mayor Muñoz is quite upset about the naked troop of performers I sent to his chambers, but his subjects thought that it was his fault, so now I can demand payment for that hook. I am finally on my way to a pilgrimage in Jerusalem. I have walked the holy path, and now I am officially a pilgrim. The Pope certainly likes that. At age 49, I took anatomical studies so that court physician treatments had better outcomes, and now I'm finally switching back to stewardship, avaricious, and gold. Being a steward is certainly working out, especially with the perks to be able to use the schemes and hooks against people. We're getting a lot of money. We've been able to completely fill out a regiment of light footmen, mangonels, caballeros, and then next I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. This guy is using mostly camel riders. In fact, I think all of them are using camel riders or light footmen, so I need to counter skirmishers and light cavalry. Their camel riders counter archers, so instead I'm going to get pikemen to counter their camel riders. Now that my 2 lady prisoners are coming of age, I can negotiate their release and then get them married matrilineally to knights. Being an ambitious man, I see an opportunity to weaken my neighbor to the south while simultaneously keeping my liege as a buffer between me and all the infidels. If I raise my troops and join his war, and both of us successfully meet him, we'll be able to soundly defeat him. Well, we raised our armies over here, started marching to the east. These troops stayed put. Somehow he raised an extra 500 troops, but we have the advantage because we're in the plains, and it looks like our knights we have one more knight and they might be better, so we have a chance. Okay, the Battle of Hervas. Alright, so we had 1 knight maimed and 1 knight wounded, but other than that, hopefully we did okay. Pope Alexander II gave me some gold just before his death. Pope Sylvester V likes me even more. Emir Abu Bakr snuck his troops around the mountains of Toledo. So now I'm trying to bring my troops up to hurry up and catch them. Okay, I believe this is crossing a river, which is an advantage penalty of at least 10. So I'm going to go ahead and get Rodrigo Ordóñez to command the army. And now the Battle of Alba. The Emir and his ally were able to meet near Xoao and come around to meet the King of Galicia in the mountains. Hopefully Philip, with his holy warrior and rough terrain expertise, will be able to help win the Battle of Gredos. Once again, Philip will be helpful in the Battle of Llerena. Unfortunately, the war with Emir Abu Bakr is over already, just when we were about to capture some prisoners in a siege. My liege, King Garcia, should be able to handle a measly 743 soldiers by himself. Emir Abu Bakr is now inferior in strength because of his lost war. Now is the time to strike. 1,000 soldiers, 250, another 50, 1,300, 1,600, 2,200, 2,600, 3,200, 3,300, and 4,100. Even if everybody here came in, that would be 4,100 soldiers. We can handle that. The Holy War for the Duchy of Beja. For Portugal. I chased Emir Abu Bakr all the way from Bragança, through the hills of Soria, down to Madrid, and finally met him here in the Battle of Huelamo. The enemy allies sailed around and are laying siege to Porto, so I need to hire some mercenaries. Thankfully, Captain Fruela is an organizer, which we desperately need. Thanks to Captain Fruela's organizing, we were able to catch up to this army, and look who we caught here. This war is over. Thankfully, I have enough money to usurp the Duchy of Beja. In March 1085, Duke Nuno's son Xoao has come of age, just in time for all his vassals to finally decide that Duke Xoao needs to give up his excessive territories. Xoao is a grey eminence, so he's going to need some help in stewardship. Adocinda looks like she can handle the job. He'll lose a little bit of prestige, but he'll gain that back once he is granted some territory. Alright, since my wife is no good at stewardship and helping manage my domain, I had to give 4 holdings to my son Count Xoao. So I gave him Bragança, Castelo Branco, Hervás, and Évora, hoping that he cannot usurp my title for the duchy. Then, he is so good at diplomacy, he demanded a position as Chancellor on my council, so I granted it. Normally I would work on controlling my newly acquired territories, but I have the Asturleonese band of Benevente for another 16 months, so it's time to expand further south. The county of Faro is under the aforesaid Emirate, which, while not strong, is far weaker than Emir Rashid himself. He only has about 300 soldiers at that moment. He's allied to Emir Saad ibn Ashmal, but he's in the middle of a war defending against the conquest of this county by Toledo. So, this guy, Emir Rashid, is going to be my next target for the county of Silves. Now that was the easiest war I ever fought. He mustered like one night, took him out, laid siege, done. Since I have so much money from extorting my subjects, selling minor titles, getting money from the Pope, I'm going to go ahead and construct a new holding in Bragança. And of course, it's going to be a castle. And since I still have some money to spare, I'm going to go ahead and build a trade port in Porto. Well, 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 look who Captain Fruela caught down here in Silves. Always good at capturing prisoners. Now, normally, being an ambitious man, I would torture him to find out any secrets he has. But this is not my war, and I have a feeling like the war will end before I get a chance to make him spill his guts. Figuratively or literally. So, instead, I think I will just ransom him for a hefty sum and keep laying siege to his capital. Alright, in October of 1086, I'm about to start suffering the penalties of this extra holding in Silves. I cannot grant it to anyone who is Muwaladi, because I don't have any in my realm right now. So I think I'm going to find one of my knights and give it to them. Martin Garcia looks pretty good. He is my knight, he's married, he has good diplomacy, average stewardship. I think he'll be able to handle the lands, and he already has an heir in his son Gonzalo Velasquez. His wife doesn't seem to have any issues. So, Martin, congratulations, you are now Count of Silves. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I can't give it to my son because he's already maximized in his holdings. Even though I married him off to a lady who's got some decent stewardship, perhaps he's not using her correctly. And now I have to wait 2.5 years to declare war on Emir Abu Bakr, because the opinion hit and the loss of fame are just too much to handle. Alright, that's a great place to end this episode. On the next one, we should be at that point where we'll be able to declare war for the final county that we need. Double busy, getting busy, do.